Okay, so let's go back to Christmas Day 2023 when I was on the receiving end of some messages about how on this certain celebrity of our area having had my sister post on there derogatory messages about how she's been a victim of mine. Now let's backtrack to 7th of December. So that's a couple of weeks before Christmas Eve Day, when I received some videos of an acquaintance that I met when I had a fallout with this celebrity, because this celebrity who needed money for an operation is someone that I helped and I knew for about 4 months, and who came to my house with 6 policemen, which is a pretty good, achievement, because hell, you call the police station these days, if they even answer the phone, you'll be lucky. But to actually get 6 of them to assist you to come and collect your 6 very large boxes that you've been storing for free in someone's garage under the pretense that I'm not prepared to give it to them, is quite an achievement, I think. But anyway, this is how good manipulators are. I said to her, you owe me some money. I lent you money. Okay, it was always asking me for money, so it couldn't have been successful at the time. But I'm blamed for the career going down the toilet, and this is why my career is being targeted continuously. So the money that she owed me, she wasn't prepared to pay it, but eventually she agreed. She tried to short pay me by 50 rand, but then she got her boxes. And since this was such a scene, and it was an embarrassing scene at my home, the police knocking on my door, my children were rattled, actually, to say the least. I felt it appropriate, since it had been so public, the whole fundraising for her medical operation, to appropriately update, at least the people at my block. What happened? Why were the police at my block? Next thing, there's, a poster of me that's been circulating for a couple of years. I've never been able to find out where this poster is supposedly, pinned at various security estates in Half Bay. But that's, that lands up on her profile. So now, since I've been gang stalked by my sister and various other people, my, late spouse's ex-girlfriend, someone she's friendly with, an admin of a very large, Half Bay organized Facebook group who also defamed me back in 2013. So yeah, when I say I've been gang stalked and defamed for more than 10 years, I'm not joking. All of these people probably have a WhatsApp group, and it's probably entitled "Let's Take Liv Down" or something like that, something to that effect. I'm sure that it exists. Pretty sure it exists. Anyway, I digress. So, this was like, oh my gosh, major defamation against this celebrity, who I don't think she's been celebrated for quite a number of years, because she had no work, no one was hiring her. Yes, she wanted to revive her business, and I was, trying to help. I really was trying to motivate her, coach her, but unfortunately, all she could do was go on and on and on about her past. And yes, I think she has a lot of trauma that she needs to deal with. But there is never any kind of admission that her situation has anything to do with her. It's always external forces. And in my situation, that is the truth, because I am being targeted. Whereas I don't think she is being targeted at all. She plays the victim and blames everyone else for her situation, but takes no responsibility. And I did try, but it was always, every single day, bad-mouthing, especially the bad-mouthing and speaking about other people who, you know, were in her life, that she would badmouth. Even a client, you know, she wanted to help with the launch of their restaurant. I mean, the things she said about this person, shocking, absolutely shocking. How can you expect to have a client when that is how you think and speak about them? Doesn't work. You know, there's like, it's a universal law. Don't work with people if you don't respect them. So she wasn't hired, you know. Anyway, when I got wind of the poster that had been posted on her profile, and I know who's behind it, my sister is behind it, someone who lives an hour and a half away from where I live, but somehow watches everything I do, is on my community groups in my area, has contacted agents that I've hired with stories about my children being taken away from me, that they shouldn't work for me, they should Google best agency in Hart Bay. And, you know, who would come up is someone who took me to court and had me framed for misconduct. But that's another story. It's all in my book, okay? But unfortunately, the book has been banned. The High Court took on face value the horribly derogatory application papers as fact, and has deemed to be vexatious for writing a book about my experiences. Now, there is the term DARVO. It's something that narcissists do. They deflect. Anyway, I can't remember now exactly what it is, but this is exactly what I've experienced, DARVO. And I think a lot of judges and magistrates should maybe get a crash course on how narcissists operate, and before they just you know, take an application and look at the papers, and on the face value of the papers make a decision, because this is exactly what they do. They provoke, they set you up, and then when you react, they use that against you, pretty much, and they are the victim. So, you know, I got protection orders against both of them, my sister and the celebrity. The celebrity didn't fight back, but she did provide an affidavit for my sister. My sister came to the court, and also, you know, it was a whole thing of character assassination against me. In fact, she never served me with her responding affidavit and annexure, so I never even had an oversight of her paperwork on the day. But the magistrate asked me if I still wanted to proceed anyway, and I was like, well, you know, my evidence was how she'd been, you know, sending this poster to random admins of Facebook saying that I'm dangerous, there's criminal matters open up against me in the Belleville Magistrates Court, that they should remove me from the group, that I'm dangerous, that I'm a squatter, and I use people's deposits for my living expenses, and that I'm bad news. So I had evidence of that, and I thought that would be pretty good enough evidence to ensure that I could get a protection order. And also, by the way, I have evidence of her trying to attack me while there was an interim protection order in place. A security guard actually gave me an affidavit, and to say that she witnessed my sister trying to come up to me and actually attacking me physically. And I have a recording of it as well, because I was on my phone and I saw her in the street, and I saw her turning around and approaching me. So I really very quickly did a screen recording, which also picks up audio. And she called me an effed up woman, and I wouldn't get away with it, is what she said. Me trying to get a protection order against her. So, you know, and over the years, the types of things that she says about me is very denigrating, extremely denigrating, the way she speaks about me. It's you know, it's dehumanizing, basically. And it's unacceptable, you know. Even a criminal who has a bad record of murdering people, you can still treat them like a human being, actually. I believe that, as much as you dislike someone. But my sister's hatred towards me, it's not normal. It's actually it's demonic, you know, and it's spiritual warfare. Satan is working through these people. He's working through every single one of these people. Anyway, going back to the protection order that I didn't get against my sister. She got away with violating an interim protection order, even with evidence. NPA never prosecuted her. Why? Because I think she manages to get everyone to believe her lies about me. And then her and all the other gang stalkers from over the years, you know, were plotting and scheming how to get back at me. So they've probably been watching my social media posts for a long time. I wasn't very active on Facebook. I, you know, got my Instagram profile updated more regularly. So I uploaded a photo of myself and this friend, acquaintance, who got married in November. A picture of the two of us. And it was when she was on her honeymoon that this celebrity actually employed the services of a gangster to threaten her life, threaten her children's lives, and circulate extremely explicit videos of her to everybody. I received them as well. I received them on my phone and a tablet that not many people had the number to. But the celebrity did have the number to that tablet. That's why I knew there was a connection. And apparently all her husband's business associates, all her shareholders for her companies, all her clients for her businesses received these videos. And she's got a whole list of people that have been gang stalking her for years. So they were trying to take her down, and then I have my gang stalkers that the celebrity teamed up with trying to take me down. So on the 7th of December, these disgusting videos were circulated. She hired a private investigator. She eventually opened a criminal case. Nothing ever came of it. So there we go, once again, institutional failure. Even with a state witness, by the way. No accountability for the trauma she had, you know, she was put through. So this is what the celebrity does, but she plays the victim. You know, poor me. I have been done wrong. I have been on the receiving end of narcissistic abuse. I'm sorry, that is what narcissists do. Okay. And yeah, the smear campaign launched against me on Christmas Eve day. I mean, how demonic does that get? How demonic does that actually get? Narcissists, by the way, they like to ruin special occasions. They will ruin birthdays. They will ruin any special, memorable day. They go out of their way to do it. Once again, it's spiritual warfare. It is demonic. It's absolutely demonic. And there is a way to protect yourself against it. You know, you've got to give yourself over to God. You've got to protect yourself, pray, and basically rebuke the devil, because it is Satan's work that they are carrying out, without a doubt. It is spiritual warfare. It's in the Bible. You know, I'm not making it up. I'm not crazy. Spiritual warfare and demonic possession is in the Bible, in the Holy Bible, God's word. So don't take my word for it. It's in the Bible. And ever since the launching of the smear campaign, you know, having a protection order, I went to the police, but I didn't go to the police straight away. I first contacted someone who I knew had been helping her with legal matters and asked her to get her to stop. You know, I asked her, please ask her to remove those posts about me, because this is a protection order violation. But they knew damn well what they were doing. They knew that it would end up with her getting arrested. It's not the first time she's been arrested. She's been arrested numerous times as well, you know. So, but if it meant that it could paint me as the villain, well, it was well worth going through all of that. And, you know, then claiming police brutality, you know, insinuating that I paid the cops to beat her up. and that I, gleefully recorded the arrest so that I could boast about it. No, I did record the arrest, which took a very long time, but it was only like in September the following year, 9 months later, that I uploaded the video, because it was shortly before that I was being blamed for the fact that she suffered police brutality. And my uploading the video was to prove that it's false, that it was a lie. She was not manhandled. She was driven to the police station in her friend's car. I really just wanted the cyberbullying to stop. That was what I wanted. But that's not what happened, and the protection order was violated every single time. There was a post about her appearance at court. They got it put on the other group that plagiarized my group's name. But I mean, this man knew what he was doing, because he was in contact with my sister way before that. So this is a plotting and a scheming of setting me up to look like the bad guy. And that's the truth. Follow for more.